Hi everyone, Petra here, and today I wanted to speak on going through the steps of recovery from codependency. Now, yesterday I made a video on codependency, and I explained in that video how I myself am a recovered codependent. I touched on how codependency is, where it is rooted in the neglect and other forms of abuse in your childhood. And in my case, it was, as I'd said in a video a couple of months ago, I think one of my first videos, second or third videos maybe, that I was always raised by my parents to be nice, to be kind, to be loving. And these are wonderful traits to teach your children, or to stimulate in your children. But when it gets to the point of you not being able to set boundaries because you just want to be kind and loving to everyone, this is when it becomes toxic for yourself, because then people just walk over your boundaries. They devalue and discredit you, respect you less, and will not take no from you. So what happens with the codependent is that we always put others and others' needs before us. And this is why we attract toxic people into our lives, narcissists into our lives. And, the flip side, when you're talking about a narcissist, they put themselves first, but they do it in a way that makes others inferior. And when we look at the codependents, we put ourselves last and others first. And this, again, as I just said, creates the toxicity that is not good for you. And it is a terrible way to live, because you tend to live in constant, almost constant anxiety and shame and guilt. And at times when you do pluck up the courage to say no, or to set a boundary, or to turn someone down, we are just riddled with shame and guilt from doing this, when all we are really doing is practicing self-care. So I said yesterday that I would make a new video on, the recovery steps, that I offer this as well in my practice. But I think it is so important that you yourself lay the groundwork and, what to do. I wanted to share my journey with you as well, how I laid the groundwork for recovering from codependency. So again, it is a process, when you have been conditioned for most of your life in self-destructive ways, practices, behavior patterns. Don't fool yourself and think that you can correct those patterns and correct your belief system in a week, or just by following some of the steps that I'm going to give you. It is a process. So if you have been going through this codependency for most of your life, then allow yourself the time to go into this new process of learning, getting to know yourself, learning what your likes and dislikes are, learning to set boundaries, telling people no. It's a whole process of loving on yourself. So, it is so important to establish a healthy relationship with yourself, because you are your best friend. You are always with you. So when you have this feeling that you are grounded in who you are, that you are grounded in your essence, in your truth, then nothing can sway you after that. You find that you will have so much courage and so much self-esteem, and it'll put you in a better position to keep toxic people out of your life or at least you will, smell them coming from miles away. And this is what you need to be able to move on with your life. By creating the healthy relationship with yourself, you will attract healthy people into your life. For those of you who have been single for a long time and who like the idea of spending the rest of your life with a wonderful partner, then you can absolutely accomplish that. But what it takes is a lot of self-care. It takes getting to know yourself. It takes reprogramming yourself. And you will find that, every day will bring you closer to where you want to be. So it is a beautiful journey. And, I get so happy when I think about this, because it's, the whole world opens up to you. You see things in a different way. You allow yourself to at some point put the past to bed and focus on the present moment and where you want to go in life. So I would like to share some of the steps that I went through in recovering from codependency. I'm just going to take a sip before I continue. I've got some fresh mint tea here. That's lovely. Right, to start off, write yourself a love letter. And I know that might sound corny, that might sound strange, but you've got to know that you have your best interests at heart. Now, how do you write yourself a love letter? The same way you would write a love letter to someone you love, whether it is your child, whether it is your parents, whether it is a friend, anyone who is dear to you. Just think back about the love letter. I'm sure all of you have written love letters at some point in your life. So the way that you would respectfully and lovingly and warmly write a dear one a love letter, take the time to write one to yourself. Tell yourself that you are sorry for all the hurt and upset that you have been through, and remind yourself that it is not your fault that you are in this position, that you have been programmed to think and feel and act a certain way. This is not your fault. But now it is your responsibility to give yourself the love and the validation that you have been seeking outside of yourself. So sit down and start writing that love letter. I started mine with "Dear, wonderful, sweet Petra." And I just wrote and wrote and wrote. I told myself how I appreciated myself, how I loved my body, how I was so thankful that I was healthy. I complimented myself on all the achievements in my life up until this point. I wrote to my younger self and I sent her loving hugs and kisses. So you fill in your love letter the way you wanted to be spoken to as a child. So this is the longing that you will have in your adult life, is that you will long for that, maybe the warmth and the love and the validation that you missed growing up. So if this is what you are longing for, write and tell your inner child, your little self, just how much they mean to you. That is how you write your love letter, and sign it with your name. Draw little hearts around there, draw butterflies, or whatever you used to do, maybe as a child, or whatever you used to put in your letters when sending them to a loved one. So take the time to sit and write this letter. It can be a page long, it can be 10 pages long. Remind yourself of all your wonderful, good and warm qualities, because this is what your inner child wants to hear from you. So that would be the beginning. Just sit and take your time. Just, go through all the emotions, because this is what is going to get you unstuck. That ties into my next point on loving yourself. This is all part of it. This is all part of the self-care. So my second point was loving yourself and shifting your energy. You know, when you are in a certain state for most of your life, you are in a state of lack, you feel unloved, you feel unwanted, you feel that you cannot move on. This is a certain energy that you are in. This is the energy that has, again, been stored in your body. And you can shift this energy. You have the power to shift this energy. And you'll find as you are going through these steps, you might not feel it in the beginning that your energy has shifted, but the more times you sit and write to yourself and you go through these points that I will share with you, at some point you will realize that you are becoming softer, you are having more compassion for yourself, and this is where your energy will shift. Yeah, having compassion. I think this is such a beautiful one, because we as codependents or recovering codependents always have compassion for the other person. We're always wanting to help. We're always wanting to fix. We're always putting others' needs before our own. So do not distract yourself by ignoring the emotions and feelings that you are going through right now. Do not distract yourself. Sit in those feelings, feel them, live through those feelings, write your feelings out. You know, I've said this so many times. I am a journal girl. I love journaling. And I find that for me, it was such a healing process to go through, just by writing everything down, acknowledging the emotions that you go through. It's so important. So sit with your feelings and do not criticize yourself when you are going through these emotions of anger or guilt or sadness or depression. Don't criticize yourself. Observe yourself. See what it does in your body. Where do you feel that energy? You know, when you're thinking of your anger, when you're thinking of your sadness, observe what happens in your body, because you do have a physical reaction to emotions. So just observe and acknowledge. That is all you have to do. You do not have to correct your emotions. You don't have to correct your feelings. This is the way you are feeling. So acknowledge that. You can express yourself. This is step number 4. You can express yourself by shedding the shame that goes along with what you have been through. And you can do this anyway. You can do it through art, through music, through creativity. I love music. I was brought up with very many different kinds of music, from classical to country to jazz to blues to soul, hard rock. You know, so I just love music, because music is what also helps me reconnect with myself. So whatever my emotion is, sadness, or if I'm feeling happy, or whatever the emotion is, I will choose the music to match that emotion. And it is so healing when you can just connect to the music, connect to the lyrics, and just feel that resonate within you. So art as well. I'm not artistic. I can't paint, I can't draw, and maybe you can. So take that to pour all your emotions into, that is a healthy way to distract yourself and become creative. I found that I became creative in my business. I started thinking of new ways to give workshops, or new ways to help others. This is one of the ways, by making films for YouTube or on YouTube. This is my way of being creative, and it has really helped me along my journey. You know, you don't have to prove yourself to anyone. You have to prove yourself to absolutely no one. All you have to do is accept where you are right now in life. That is all. That is all you have to accept. Do not judge yourself. Once again, no judging, just observing, and accept the fact that this is where you are in your life, and then own your responsibility that you are going to make a difference from this day forward in your life. That is all you have to do. No more proving yourself. You don't have to do that anymore. Another thing is having fun. So don't or stop taking yourself so seriously. Life is all about having fun and learning and growing from all the experience that life sometimes offers us or throws at us. So just go out and have fun. Have fun in your own home. Have fun with those close to you. Go out for fun times. Go and have water fun. Go out swimming. Go out running in nature. Crack a couple of jokes. Put on funny movies or watch silly funny films on YouTube. It's all about just getting that laughter muscle strengthened again. Have a good laugh. See the humor in certain things. Laugh at yourself sometimes. And I'm not talking about mocking yourself, but just, especially when you're observing your emotions, and you can sort of stop and say, isn't that interesting? And laugh at that. Just, it's going to shift your energy when you learn how to see the funny side of things and not always the serious side of it. So it will also give you a new perspective on where you are and where you want to go. So your vision will become clearer to you. Be willing, and this is something that you cannot really, you cannot flip the switch on, but be willing to release toxicity from your life, whether that is a situation, whether it is a person, the narcissist in your life. Be willing to release that toxicity. And, coming to this decision is not something that you can just, as I just said, you cannot just flip the switch. Coming to this decision will at some point it'll just fit, it'll just fall into place, it'll feel right. And you find that you will have less trouble setting that boundary and getting whatever toxicity out of your life, whether it is people or situations or a habit that you have, or the self-criticism. Self-criticism is also toxic. So you will discover your moment. It will just feel right. And that will be the moment where you are at your most courageous, and that'll be your strong point, where you will just suddenly know. It is an inner knowing. You will know when to set that boundary and when to release the toxicity from your life and from your very direct vicinity. Stop neglecting and start nurturing you. So whether that is your body, your mind, your spirit, if you need to rest more, if you need to eat healthier, if you need to exercise more, develop a ritual, a daily practice where you take 10 minutes to start off your day with a meditation, or if you don't like the meditation, you can just sit quietly every day for 10 minutes before you start your day. Just sitting quietly and taking into account your breathing. Are you breathing shallowly? Are you breathing from here, or are you breathing from your stomach? So when you find that you are anxious, you'll be breathing from here. So in those 10 minutes that you set aside for yourself every day, just check your breathing, become aware of your breathing. And if you find that it's shallow, then breathing deeply and release that, so that you can ground yourself. And you will find the more times you do this, the more relaxed and the more capable and the stronger you will feel in going into your day, in meeting your day. conversations, just check who your inner circle of people or friends are. If you find that the conversation is usually very down, very negative, then turn that around. Create healthy conversations with others around you. And if you feel that these people are also weighing you down, then you need to step back from that and start having the healthy and the respectful and the positive conversations with yourself. This is also going from the neglecting of yourself to the nurturing of yourself. Drop the blame. Drop the blame and boost your boldness. So the blame is, I could have, I should have, I would have. These are all things in the past. When your focus is on the past, it is virtually impossible for you to come into the present moment. So you need to drop the should have, would have, could have, and focus on where am I right now? How can I take it from this very moment and make a difference in my own life? Take it from this moment. Take another step tomorrow. Take the 10th step, maybe in 2 weeks, and just keep moving on. Stop sometimes, but don't stop for too long, and continue on your journey. So no more should have, would have, could have. That is just, it is not helpful to you. Okay, dear guys and girls, that was it for today. There are several more points that I will touch on again in a following video. But for now, just put yourself first. Start loving on yourself. Take care of yourself in whichever way you feel is necessary. And I would love to hear your stories. I would love to hear how you practice self-care. And I'm just wishing you all the power, all the love, and all the courage on your journey. And just know that you can recover from codependency. Sending you lots of love wherever you are in the world right now. And looking forward to reconnecting with you all very soon. Take care. Bye now.